Hey y'all, what's going on YouTube channel? It's Tars down here again. Go hard, go home. Uh, Before I get started today, as you can see by the presentation here, we're going to be talking about the hierarchy of human dating. Um, and I only really got one slide I'm going to show y'all, and I'm going to discuss that slide. Okay? Before I get into that, I want to thank everybody for the comments, the subscriptions. That's keeping me motivated. I'm really happy about that. And I'm glad that people are finding the information I'm putting out there, to be sensible. Y'all hit the like and subscribe button for me. Y'all know I don't do the doggone none of that Cash App, or you gonna have to get on Patreon, or none of that junk. Just subscribers here on YouTube, and I work it out from there. So y'all hit the subscribe button for me. Join me on the journey here, and we're gonna get into this thing right here and talk about the hierarchy of human dating. Okay, you got a lot of so-called game coaches and junk like this here on YouTube, and even Kevin Samuels talked at one point about this hierarchy of human dating. Okay, they all kind of talk about it to some degree. What most of them tend to think is that, because I've heard the guy Lucario explain it a couple of times too, that men are at the top of the hierarchy, and then there's everybody else, and there's the women, and then there's the guys, which I believe a little bit of this too, but not the same way. So let's get to this chart. I'm gonna look at this chart and I'm gonna explain this chart, and I want y'all to drop the comments, let me know what y'all think, and I'm gonna continue to use the chart later on in other videos. Okay. So this chart, as you guys can see, I'm gonna move myself down here so I'm kind of next to it. Okay, this is the hierarchy of human dating. Okay. I create this chart because you got this 80-20 rule, 90-10 rule, all the other good shit that's probably better shown by having a chart. Now, I have another video that I'm going to do where I explain the 80-20 rule and the 90-10 rule, but I'm going to be referencing this video also so that people can look at this chart and kind of see what I'm talking about, because I kind of did this one first. So either way as it goes, because I got a report for the other one is already ready, but I want to put this out there first. So look, here's the deal, guys. At the top of this triangle, the top of this pyramid of human dating, okay? At the top of that, you have the top 10% of men and women. This is men and women at the top of that pyramid. Not just men. Men and women. These are your top 10% men and women, okay? As far as the men, it's the guys who are making it in life, doing pretty decent in life, probably some CEO, probably some kind of CEO, you know what I'm saying? Some very high level boss or manager or something. And most of the guys that fall into that top 10% are going to be that. Okay? The women in that top 10% can also have good jobs and good careers and things like that, or these can just be extremely attractive women. Some of the guys that be on here, on like, you got the Fresher Fit, Myron Gaines and all that, the women just are. No, they're not. Unless they're extremely attractive. Unless they're extremely attractive. That's the only way they're going to just jump to the top 10% of men. And if they're not extremely attractive, they can get up there really easy, by sleeping their way up, doing cuz shit. I got it, I know. But here's the deal. At the top 10%, you only going to have dimes, because that's a 10. You're only going to have that. And you're going to have women who have achieved high level success that put them into that dating market. Not necessarily saying that the 10% men want them, because that's been an issue for women too. But they can get into that 10% the same way that a man can through money and power and success. The problem that they have with it is going to be the same problem that a man has. If a man gets to the 10% and he still can't get the approval of women, he's going to be looked at as trash. The same thing like with women who are cougars. It's like you got all that money and power, but it ain't like no man wants you. Or you look at like Lizzo. She's got a boyfriend, but I think I kind of know what that is. This dude ain't fat, and he's not somebody who's famous. So he's just somebody who wants to get a woman with money. So that body and stuff all counts into this top 10%. Underneath that, you got the remaining 90% of women. Okay? This is your dumb dimes who they look good, but because they don't have a certain mentality, or your ghetto chicks, trailer trash chicks, you want to call it whatever. Some of them look real good, but because their mentality, they're gonna stay in the they're not gonna get the top 10% man. These are the women that you had calling Kevin Samuels and all this other good stuff, blah 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 blah, but they're not going to the top because number one, if there was a dime, they ruined that by having kids, but some other people doing that in the A, B, and C. They ruined some of the thing that would take them to the top. Okay? The remaining 90% of women, these are regular working women. Regular working woman, not the CEO boss, 6-figure making chick, no. She's in the top 10%. So you get the regular working women are the remaining 90% of women. Okay? If you want to break this down really easy, that remaining 90% of women is your everyday average woman. Not overly ambitious, don't look all perfect. That's the remaining 90%. In that top 10% of women, if a woman looks good, she can go to the top 10% easily. She can get a man from the top 10%. One of the things I'm going to get into a little bit later is how it works up and down this thing. Because you can have a man in the top 10% of men and women that can get women from the top 10%, and he can get women from the 90%. He can get 100% of women if you up here. If you are down here, the remaining 90% of men, and this is I hate to tell you guys, it's regular, everyday, average Joe guy, your worker, blue collar worker, and the dirtier your job is, the worse off it is. You know what I'm saying? You could be an attractive guy and you still be in the remaining 90% of men. And some guys are like, well, how did that work? Okay, that's what these guys are calling a Chad or a Tyrone. It's a regular, everyday, average guy that those guys are assigning the 10% to. The women are not doing it because he's still on that level enough for them to see him. And women are not going to assign 10% to a 90% man. They ain't going to do it. The 10% women are not going to do it. And the 90% women are not either. It's just that since this guy's got a few better attributes than those guys, they all still pulling from that 90% of women because they're not going to get the 10%. They're not. If you're in the 90% of men, you're not getting the 10% of women. Unless it's like some Lizzo type situation where the woman is going to the top 10% of people, but she just not that, physically. And you'll have a Lizzo type situation where a 90% man is with a 10% woman. But it don't really work that way in any other kind of way. If that 10% woman, like I said, hey, in my video Red Pill Disney Stories, I told her about that with the Shrek thing. If the princess is cursed, like Lizzo's overweight, then yeah, you could be low on the totem pole. You could be an ogre and you could still get the princess if she's cursed. The only way the 10% for men is going to go to the 90% of fucking women I mean, the only way the 90% of men is going to get into the 10% of women is that woman got something wrong with her already. If she ain't got shit wrong with her, she gonna be the top 10% of women, and those top 10% of women, we're only gonna date the top 10% of men. They ain't dating in the 90%. They're not doing it. The top 10% of men up here, because remember, see, I'm telling you now, that's a group. At the top is a group. They try to say it's men, but it's not. That's a group. That's a group of people. At one point, it may have been just men, but when women started having money and success and something like that, that top pie got a split in the middle of it. That's men and women. I'm gonna make this chart better one day. I put this together, but it's more of them talking about it right now. Yeah, I'm probably gonna improve on it. So y'all stay tuned for that one. But the thing of it is this is how this works. If you're in that remaining 90% of men, you can forget about the top 10% of women. Like, I want to fuck Rihanna, okay? I want to fuck Megan Good. I want to fuck Brittany Renner too. That's a YouTube chick. Who else I smash from YouTube? But see, since these people done got to certain levels of money, women way before me, they hit the top 10% of men and women way before me because I'm in the remaining 90% of men myself. Why? Because I don't have a job and stuff like that, and I have my own money, my own business and everything. But that's just at the top level of the remaining 90%. Now I can shoot through to this 10%, and they'll pay attention to me because they see I'm going somewhere. This is kind of when the women. This is kind of like with women. The guys always saying, you'll take him, and they're saying if he has ambition. And the guy's like, but that's really what that is. Yeah. They'll look at you if they think you're going somewhere. If you're in the remaining 90% of men and you like a blue collar worker, you can forget it. You can forget the top 10% of women. They know you're never coming up there. So, this 90-10, 80-20 rule thing, because I'm going to do the video after this one explaining it. I got a PowerPoint presentation on that. The 80-20 rule, and I talk about a couple of things about that one. But this is in essence how doggone human dating works. Okay, you got your top 10% of men and women, okay? Those people, like I say, the men, they may have strived to get up there, but they're up there. Okay? This is high earning men, 6 figures or better. And when you're saying 6 figures, I'm talking like 250,000. Because them low 6 figures, you can get into that with jobs. You can get into that with certain jobs. But you got one hell of a job that's paying you $250,000 a year. And you gonna work real hard to get there, but in most cases, that ain't what's going on. Somebody making that kind of money got their own business or doing something else like that. In most cases. Okay. Now, I want to use this chart to show how the money kind of gets blurred out in this thing. Okay? Because like I said, blue collar worker still puts you in 90% of men. You can make a lot of money doing it. Kevin Samuels and a lot of these guys, all these channels always talking about you can make money. Matter of factly, I seen jobs where you can make a bunch of money, $80,000 to $100,000, $100,000, and I did a video about that. You're saying you can't make $80K before 20 or 30 years old. It's bullshit, and it is, because you can get entry level jobs that's making that. But the problem is this right here for guys. As long as it's a job that's making that money, it still puts you in the 90%. That's the crazy part about it. It still works that way. That's why you got these guys these high level guys, you know what I'm saying, with these high paying jobs, and they still don't have access to the top 10% of women, or even the top part of the 90%. They still scratching the bottom part to the middle part of the 90% of women. And I might have to break this chart down into bars. Now that I'm thinking about that and I'm talking about it, I will have to break this down into bars to show you that there's gonna be, in that 90% of women, it's levels of that too. It's like it's levels of the 90% of men. Okay, I am at the like top level. I'm still under the 90% of women. Still under them. Still under them. You got top percent of men and women, and see that remaining 90% of women is under the bottom part of women, because you still got it. Women still gonna get, the man still gonna be looking for a woman. If you take this and turn it into a homosexual chart, right? It will really just break down by jobs. Then it will still be the same thing. You have all your attractive people at the top, your attractive people with a lot of money, or, you know what I'm saying, or good careers. Those people will be at the top, and then you would have, you still have the other two levels, because sometimes, like, you know, I don't understand all of what they have going on, but I do know a lot of those people, and they seem to break down into categories of almost men and women and stuff too, even though it's same sex stuff. That's a whole other study, but I ain't no expert on that. But I do know enough about watching them and watching heterosexual couples, watching homosexual couples, and watching people that's like bi and mixed and all this stuff. This shit all right here kind of pans down to all of them, because everybody in general wants the top 10 most attractive person making the most money they could get. It's just an in general thing. I'm breaking it down to women and men right now, but it's really in freaking general, because we got this sexual spectrum. Yeah. So the top 10% of men and women have access to the remaining 90% of men and women, but the top 10% of women don't want that remaining 90% of men. This is where the guys you get these guys really complaining. Okay. Now, here's also what's funny. You could take that top 10% of men, and they might not want that top 10% of women. At the top 10%, it gets kind of rocky for women, because their options the options are already low, because there's way more women in America, especially, than men. And most of America is 51% women. Okay, and in most places and countries, if you do, I Googled this and I read up on a couple of things. Now, worldwide, there's a 1% average more men, I think, than women, worldwide. But you see more concentrations of men in places like Alaska and stuff, or harsh living and stuff like that. And you don't see women a lot in those areas. The women tend to congregate in the comfort areas, like the big cities. And then that makes it in those big cities to where there's a abundance of women and a small amount of men. So if you don't live in the woods, it's more likely that there's more women around you than there are men. So I'm just putting all that into there. But this is the hierarchy of human dating. I ain't gonna keep beating this one, because like the chart is there, and I think I came up with a few improvements on it today. So y'all might see another video with this, with some more charts added to it, to explain some other things that we came up with today. And if y'all drop me comments and stuff like that on this right here, it'll help me with building that chart. So y'all let me know what y'all thinking. Okay? Hey, I'm gonna the quick breakdown right here. Okay? Top 10% of men and women. That top 10 with the women, if you down here, guys, you can forget about them. That top 10%, you can forget about them. Okay? Unless you make it to this area. The remaining 90% of women have a choice from here and from here. See, the men at the bottom only have a choice from the 90%. They're not getting the 10%. Unless, like I said, it's a Lizzo situation. So I guess you do still have a choice. Depends on what what you want. But just talking about on average, that remaining 90% of men got no chance for that 10% of women at the top. Now, the remaining 90% of women can choose from the 10% of men. They can also choose from the 90% of men. Which means that the guy at the bottom better be working really hard, because see right here, all this is gonna be focused up. Women date up. That's what it is. They're gonna be focused up. So you're gonna have to come together. I mean, like, this is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all thinking. I'm out of here on this one. This been Taurus Downey. Go hard to go home. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments about my chart. And subscribe. And, as I get the comments and do a lot more thinking about the chart, I think I'm going to improve on it a little bit. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about that one. And if y'all think I'm right or wrong or whatnot, let me know. It's been Taurus Downey. Go hard to go home. I'm out.